I'm Peter Butler, a lot of familiar faces out there. I'm the chairman of the NCHL board, and I see a lot of faces that actually were around when this organization got hatched over 10 years ago. This is the 7th anniversary of this symposium, and I think we got a great one lined up. So we've had some transitions that you'll hear about in the last year, but most importantly, we have two leaders. One is Christy Lemak, our Chief Academic Officer, who you're going to hear from and is most responsible for all of the events of today and tonight. And then we have Andy Garman, who is the CEO now of NCHL, and he is going to begin our afternoon with talking a little bit about NCHL, where it's been and where it's going. And
NCHL was founded in 2001. It was founded on this principle that leadership development needs to be a core competency of healthcare organizations. And over the next 10 years, NCHL worked to build a legacy of innovative research, demonstration projects, and learning collaboratives that have helped advance leadership development across the field. This field, this science of leadership development has been evolving, and a big part of what we're hoping to do with leadership development and with NCHL in the coming 10 years is to keep that legacy going in some important and useful ways. And I want to make a critical point or observation here, which is leadership is not a basic science. It really is an applied science. It's not something you can kind of take and put in a test tube and study as an academic exercise. It requires a very strong partnership between the academic community and the practice community, working collaboratively to conduct careful evaluations, to take a look at what we're learning, and to continuously evolve those lessons. The white paper also identifies 5 areas where we think we ought to focus the work of NCHL in terms of the key questions that would be very helpful to have more evidence around. The first one is, what competencies will future leaders require? Healthcare seems to be in a period of transition. I see a lot of shocked looks in the audience. Lot of things going on. We know first curve, second curve. There's also genomics. We have a lot of transition, a lot of change happening, and a need to step back and figure out that future leader, what are they going to need to be able to do? Number 2, which leadership practices are most important for achieving specific organizational outcomes? One of the benefits of having this level of transparency that we now have around organizational data such as quality, safety, efficiency, patient experience is the ability to study organizations at the organizational level and look at practices that they're involved with as they may relate to these outcomes. The white paper also reports on some preliminary work that we've been doing with the help of Hospira to study some of these different practices as they relate specifically to the outcomes that are most closely tied to value-based purchasing. Number 3, how can technology best enhance leadership development? We all know from many years of experience that there's no better teacher than experience on the job, but there are certain types of experience that are just either too rare, too expensive, they don't come around enough, or it's too risky to put somebody into that role. And what we need to find are the right analogs to be developing those skills before the opportunities present themselves. Number 4, how can leadership teams better reflect the communities that they serve? NCHL has a history of working in this area. We're the beneficiaries of some terrific support from Sodexo to do demonstration projects in this area. But I think as a field we'd all recognize we're not where we would like to be at this point. Despite all the attention and despite all the focus, if we look at the senior leadership roles, they're still not reflecting the communities that they serve. We're calling this one a work in progress, one that we need to continue to focus on in the coming years. And then finally, how can leaders collaborate more effectively across the entire health system? A theme of integration and a theme of collaboration in the coming years.
Our goal of today is to build a legacy by creating health in our communities. And I think today we're focusing on the important role of leadership in our healthcare organizations and in our communities. And it seems fitting to me that we're here in this beautiful room at the Union League Club. And if you think about, if you don't know, the history of this club was started in 1879 by a group of civic leaders with some very big ideas. And they really achieved their vision because they focused leadership and resources on important social issues. So I feel that today we are like those individuals gathered here to focus on some big issues. And we're going to focus on leadership and the challenges that we face. And in doing so, we hope to build a legacy for future generations to come.